let's keep going into the Monday game. TCU at Chapel Hill to take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. Will Bill Belichick's debut, and will he have his Tar Heels ready to go against the Horned Frogs? I think that's kind of the big question. This massive turnover. That is Billy B, who's just one of the best coaches, if not the best coach ever to coach this game. Just one of the great teachers of the game. You guys, Gio Lopez is here as a Tar Heel. He had over 3,000 yards at South Alabama as he takes the reins as a new starter for North Carolina. I really like this pickup from Billy B this past offseason, as that's going to be their new quarterback. A lot of play action, a lot of just opening up the field and baiting teams. That's what I'm going to see a lot of from Gio Lopez, and also has a good set of wheels for himself there. He had a decent pass for like the only score when they went up against LSU, South Alabama, the Jags last year. He had a pretty decent striking range. Once you get into that red zone or just outside the red zone, I really like Gio Lopez. And then the offensive line, they're the number 25 offensive line going into this season for your Sports Outpost. You got Austin Blass back at center. Trevon Green should be starting at right tackle. And then you have another guy coming from Jacksonville State that we already talked about, Reginald Hughes, in that Colorado Georgia Tech preview. But Will Osteen, he will be starting hopefully at left tackle. We'll see if that prediction holds for at least the depth chart for what we're going for. And then the number 2 offensive lineman in this past season's off-season's portal, Daniel King out of Troy, should be starting at right guard. We said influx of players coming in from the portal on the North Carolina defense. I'm really digging this linebacker core of Andrew Simpson coming out from Boise State. Big contributor over there, gotten a lot of tackles for loss for the Broncos. He knows how to send it. If Billy B gives him the call, that's one guy I'm going to see in the backfield in a North Carolina Tar Heel uniform, making a lot of plays. Next to him is going to be Kamarian House from Washington. He comes over with Stephen Belichick, Billy B's son, out of UW. And then McKay Gnaber. He's out of Nebraska. Had some pretty good numbers for the Cornhuskers. He just adds some depth. I think he lost out on the starting spot to Andrew Simpson, who came in a little bit later from the portal, as House and Simpson come out of the same high school that's called St. John Bosco. And DJ Uiagalelei, his little brother, they both went there. Just a lot of great products coming out of that school. In general, probably the best on the West Coast, I would say, and at the moment in terms of getting guys to the collegiate level and then possibly to the NFL. One big thing we got to talk about is how legit TCU's quarterback Josh Hoover is going to be. He is slated to possibly be, one of those Big 12 draft picks going into next season. I kind of want to see how legit he is. I kind of wasn't paying attention to any Horned Frog football last season. Wasn't too impressed under Sonny Dykes. Got that loss against SMU where he had that big ejection. I think it was around halftime. Had to leave the sideline. We'll see how it goes for TCU. If they can get a good launch this season with a road win, then yeah, I'll definitely pay attention to TCU. They have Boise State's former head coach, Andy Avalos, as their defensive coordinator. They have another former Boise State wide receiver, Eric McAllister, over there at wideout. He's been pretty good, and he's probably going to be their go-to guy going forward for at least this 2025 campaign. But we're not leaning to TCU, even though they are the favorites by a field goal in this one. We think North Carolina is going to win by a 6-point difference, and we're sticking to it. We like Billy B. We like the turnover. If there's anyone in football that can just take a raw lineup of a bunch of new guys and then put something good out on the field that's going to, turn in some results, it's going to be Bill Belichick. And let's go North Carolina to win again by 6.